I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter.
This is the Family Show!
Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
Today we're looking at 20 through 11, the top 20.
This is the good stuff, people.
These games are epic.
They better be.
Epic. Just as a review, we'll go quickly. 4 new games. 4 new games. 4 games that went down. 1 that stayed the same. 1 that went up.
Wow, there's a lot going on.
Alright.
With this great list of awesome.
Yeah, these games. Every time I pick one of these games up, I'm like, oh man.
You're like, I'm ready to play this game.
Yeah, these games are awesome. And we'll start it right off with a new favorite. Obviously new to the list. Arcadia Quest.
Wow, you really like this.
I really, really like
Wow.
Arcadia. I like Arcadia Quest so much, I'm eyeing the next one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew you liked it, but I didn't know you liked it that much. Wow.
I love this game.
That was hilarious. We played this.
Don't spoil it. But yeah.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to spoil it. I was going to say, you can go see us actually go through a whole campaign on our channel with this, and we had a ball playing it.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious.
So much fun. And it had probably the best ending of a board game I've ever had.
That's true. That is true.
So, yeah, so I highly encourage, if you don't watch anything else, watch the last 20 minutes of the last video.
That was pretty
May
awesome.
not make sense what's going on, but it's pretty epic. But Arcadia Quest, it's a dungeon crawl with a twist. It's almost video gamey, in my opinion, the way it works.
Yes.
Basically, you're going through a dungeon. You have certain goals you're trying to achieve before the other team. Each person has a team of guys, 3 people that they're taking into the dungeon as well. And you have goals such as get to a certain point or kill a certain monster. But one of the goals you always have is to kill a member of the other person's team. So it has awesome miniatures. It has a cool story. It builds, if you play the campaign, it builds up to a climactic ending, an epic ending. And we looked at the last scenario, like, how in the heck are we even going to do this?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's how quickly you ramp up. You play over a series of 6 games if you do the campaign. You collect treasure along the way, make your guys a little more powerful each time, and along the way they get curses and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's just a really cool. If you like dungeon crawls, but you don't want anything like super serious and like too heavy on terms of
keeping track of
all
the details and
things
yeah,
like that.
This one's pretty good.
This is a really good one. You don't need a overlord type person.
Nope.
The monsters are basically programmed. They have programmed on how they work in certain situations.
I'm just thinking now, we've played this all 2-player. How much chaos would happen with a 4-player game
I could
of
not
this?
even
because
imagine.
You get that credit for sniping another player, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, because we were every game we were across the board from each other, so we had to actually make an effort to go fight each other.
Which we did.
Yeah,
I will give you that much of a spoiler.
Well, it's one of the quests, right?
Yeah, so you're like, oh, I have to. It tells me to. I'm sorry, sweetie. I gotta kill you.
But yeah, I am eyeing the next one.
I
don't know. I don't know. I think I would enjoy it more playing something new, right, as opposed to doing the campaign again. But I don't know.
We could do different towns though, or whatever.
We could do different scenarios along the way. There's like 12 or so scenarios, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. And you only use half of them.
Use different guys.
But yeah, so Arcadia Quest, awesome, fun.
The miniatures are amazing. These are miniatures I want to paint at some point.
You're gonna paint?
Sure. When I have free time. But yeah, no, seriously though, the miniatures are really awesome, and they do scream to be painted because they're those really cool looking miniatures.
So there it is, my number 20, new to the list.
Good pick. That's
Arcadia
Quest. That's funny. I had no idea you liked it that much.
I loved it. I had so much fun.
Wow.
All right, onward to number 19, another new one to the list. Let's go Yuri Goodness with Lorenzo Il Magnifico.
The game that looks like you're selling carpets.
Lorenzo il Carpetcello. Anyway, Lorenzo is,
Not about carpet
is
selling.
a cool, just a straightforward Euro game where you collect resources. You use those resources to do stuff. It's, I wouldn't say a race, but there's several different ways to get points.
Yeah.
You're trying to build up there's like four different types of cards. One helps you with your resources. One is buildings that give you powers, and there's people. I want to say they're people.
Oh, geez.
The blue cards, and then there's the purple cards, which are kind of the in-game bonus card type cards. They all have a different thing, but you're basically drafting those cards. You have little basically you roll dice. There's 3 different dice, and you use those dice to take actions on the board. The numbers on the dice tells you how powerful the action is, but it's their community dice. So everyone's using the same dice, the same 3 dice to take their actions. When you go to an area, like I said, the green, yellow, blue, and purple cards, you go to that area, you put your token on whatever card you want to draft, and once you go there, it's more difficult for someone else to go. Like another player can go to that same tower, but it costs them money to go there. You also have a neutral worker that doesn't utilize any of the dice, that has basically a value of 0, so you can use that as well to do things, and you can collect, I want to say servants, they're called, assistants, servants, to bump up your dice. So if you need a power 5 action, but the orange dice is a 3, you can put two servants and make it a 5. So
meanwhile, you have to do all of this while keeping track of your faith.
Yes.
Because if you're not a faithful little human, then you get these horrible punishments at certain phases, when certain phases of the game end. So you really, and they're not easy. It's not easy for you to add points to your faith track. Yeah. Oh, it's tough. So if you're not paying attention to that and it sneaks up on you, it can hurt. Yeah. So it's a really, really challenging. I love that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah, there's only a certain number of cards that come out that'll let you move that, right? So you gotta think, this is a really good card, but there's only 2 cards that give me faith points. I'm like, do I wait till next turn? Because every 2 turns you score, basically. You gotta score your faith, and you build your faith up, and you need to have it to a certain level, or you get a humongous detriment. Or you can just take the detriment and keep building your faith up and get more and more points. So sometimes the detriment, maybe your way you're building your
way you're doing your game, it won't hurt you or something.
The detriment not going to help you, but the detriments are bad. They're like really bad. Like your orange dice is always a 0 or something.
Yeah, it's like insane.
crazy detriments. So.
Yeah.
So that's it. So basically, it's a card drafting. You draft cards. Some of the cards, like I said, the green ones give you resources. That's your engine. You're kind of engine building with your green cards. The yellow cards are ways to transform goods from one thing to something else. And then the blue cards are just trying to collect a ton of those. The more you have, the more points you get at the end of the game. And the purples give you in-game scoring. So all kinds of stuff going on. For the two-player game, all you do is cover some spots. With like most worker placement games, you just cover up a few of the spots, and you can't go there. So.
Yeah, it doesn't really change. That's another thing that's great is it has a great 2-player variant because it's not much of a variant.
Yeah. So
very cool.
So if you like just straightforward Euro games, this is one you definitely should check out.
Yeah.
Lorenzo il Magnifico, my number 19.
Awesome.
All right.
I'm not all that surprised, though, that you really put that high on the list, though, because we really enjoyed that one a lot.
All right. Let me take a little peek at my list before I say anything. Before I make a statement, make sure it's right. My number 18 is my favorite social deduction game.
You already did Spyfall, right?
No, I haven't, because here comes Spyfall.
I knew it.
Spyfall, my number 18. It was my number 7 last year. Holding strong.
Yes, it is.
My number 18, Spyfall. So Spyfall, go ahead.
I was going to say, so tell us why it's so awesome.
So Spyfall is a social deduction game. Basically, the way it works is all of you are spies hanging out. No, not spies. People hanging out at a location.
We're all spies.
Well, there is a variant in the expansion where you can play all spies and see.
That would be horrible.
Or you guys should play 2 spies. I'm just messing.
Anyway,
so you're all on some locations. Or maybe you're all at a restaurant. So maybe Rebecca is the chef, maybe I'm the maitre d', maybe another person is the dishwasher. But one person is going to get a card that just says spy on it. So that person has no idea where everyone else is. And so what you do is you go around the table and you kind of trade off asking each other questions about where you're at and what you do and things like that. And when the person asks you the question, and if you're not the spy, obviously you know where you are. But when you answer the question, you know, it'll be so obvious that the spy clues in on where you are, because his goal is to find out wherever it is. And so if he figures out where they are, he can say, I'm the spy, and I think we're at the restaurant, and he wins. So someone asks you a question, you kind of go, well, you got to be kind of vague, but not too vague, because if you're super vague, they're going to be like, oh, that person's the spy. So it's kind of a balancing act of how much information do I give to prove who I am, but not so much that the spy figures it out. So it's just a really fun social deduction game. You play a game and you rack it up and you immediately play another one. So
yes. And the rolls are the best. You can play it without the rolls where you just have the generic location, you ask questions, but if you've got a game group that's either more experienced or is really good at hamming it up, you know, it's really fun to add those rolls because it makes it a little more challenging, and it's just funny because everyone's being really goofy with
they're
rolls.
answering. If you don't use the rolls, you're answering all the questions in a similar way, right?
Yeah.
If you have the rolls, like for example, if you're the dishwasher, you're going to answer the question completely different than if you're a waitress, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be
or the customer,
or a customer, right?
Yes.
It's going to answer the question like, what do you enjoy your job? And they're like, well, it's not. Don't have it if you're a customer.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not working right now.
I'm not working.
Yeah.
And the other dishwasher may say, no, I hate my job. I despise it. It's whatever.
My hands are pruny. You know, just something you could be like. You can put all sorts of stuff. It's fun.
So it's just hilarious. It's really pretty intense when you're the spy.
Oh my gosh!
If you're not used to these kind of games and someone kind of throws you in and you end up being the spy, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be really overwhelmed.
Too stressed out.
But when I get the spy, I'm like, yeah, it's on. Yes! I love being the spy. I love being the traitor. I love being the bad person. I love being the... I like... Cause
I like to stir the pot.
No, well, I think it's more challenging and more interesting if you're that role, right? If you're just a generic whatever, you're just playing the game. Where if you're the traitor or the spy or whatever in these type of games, you're playing a completely different game than everyone else, right?
True.
I love that intensity. I love the trying to the gears just spin 10,000 miles an hour because when you're playing like Spyfall, if you're not the spy, you're kind of listening to what everyone's saying, and you kind of, oh, he might be the spy. But if you're the spy, you're like hanging on every word.
Oh my gosh,
you're
that's
like,
so true.
You're listening, trying to find every little veiled comment. Like, what does he mean by that? His hands are pruny. Maybe we're on water somewhere or something. You know, you're listening to every little thing.
Oh my gosh!
Can you tell I like this game? I really, really like Spyfall. It's like I said, it's my favorite social deduction game, and that's one of my favorite genres of games.
Yeah. Now, they also have Spyfall 2.
Yes.
Which has a whole nother batch of locations and stuff.
And it's designed for more players, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh, gosh. Well, it's fun, too.
I think it plays up to 10 instead of 8.
Oh, okay.
And you have, if you play with 10, you put 2 spies.
Oh, my goodness.
And I don't know how the rules work, but basically you have 2 spies instead of 1.
Well, it's fun, too.
Yeah.
So, either one you can find...
Spyfall, my number 18, an awesome game. If you like social deduction, you got to try this game out.
That's true. It's pretty good.
All right, onward we go to my number 17.
Woo! I'm so excited.
It was my number 6 last year.
Oh gosh, why do I feel like I should?
From 6 to 17. Why did it drop that much? That's a pretty good drop for one of my top 10 games.
I'm gonna guess.
Is it my biggest drop out of my top 10?
You either haven't been able to play it.
It's the same as Spyfall. It dropped 11 spaces.
It's either not as heavy, or we just haven't gotten to play it much, and so
we haven't played it at all since we last played it. In fact, and that's because it is Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
That makes perfect sense. Wow, and still, the memories of it still keep it that high. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, this game. If you have not played Pandemic Legacy, you have to play this game. It is epic.
Good.
In truth, it really should be like in the top 5, maybe, just because it was so amazing. But the fact that we can never play this again, I mean, we could, but
we're not surprised now.
There's no surprises. You know what's in all the boxes.
And well, like we'd have to get a whole new game because this board is permanently changed.
Right.
So I mean, you can play the game afterwards.
You see, it's covered in dust because we haven't played it since.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
Since we played it last. But yeah, it is truly epic. It is like reading a book that you're writing. If that makes sense.
Yes.
You're reading it as you're writing it. I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep nodding and smile.
So anyway, Pandemic Legacy, it takes the game Pandemic and makes it a overarching story that goes from the beginnings to craziness, and all sorts of weirdness happens, and you're struggling to win, and at the end you may or may not save the world.
Yes.
It is great. So if you like Pandemic and you just like stories, I mean, just good, solid stories, this is a game that you definitely should try out. I mean, it's going to appeal to people who like co-ops, people that like Pandemic, people that like creating. It's almost in a way, it's kind of choose your own adventure in a way, because you have to make decisions. Do I want to do this, or do I want to focus in on doing that? And that's going to influence the game.
Yeah, it influences how things happen.
Yeah.
For each month. And yeah, no, that's really true. And this is one thing that we hesitated on for a while, because we're like, ooh, a legacy game. You're buying it, and then you're only playing a certain number of times, and you're done. And we thought about that for a while. And when we finally did, we were so into it. We played almost the entire.
We played the entire
year in like 3 days.
We started Friday night and ended Sunday afternoon.
We fitted in any chance we got for an entire weekend.
We played the entire weekend.
Crazy. It's really, really fun, and it was well worth it.
And I think this is going to trickle down my list just because
we don't get to touch it again.
There's no way to play it again, right? But
what a shock. Because you could tell he didn't like season 1. He's like, I'm definitely not trying this again.
This one's still in shrink. It's ready for the Christmas break.
Christmas break, here we come. That's amazing.
We're staying in a lodge over Christmas. This might be a good one to take with us to play at night.
Ooh. Kids are going to bed at 6 o'clock.
In the morning.
Sorry, kids, you have to stay in bed all day.
But there it is. My number.
That's awesome.
My number. What number is that? 17. It
Very
dropped
high.
From number 6 because it was fresh and
but
newly
it's still
completed.
there. And hey, you may still have a legacy game on the list next year.
The question is, will both be on the list next year?
You gonna count them separately?
That's the question.
That's true. Are they different enough?
Are they different enough to count as two different games? Sorry,
we broke it.
Anyway,
broken game.
That's my number. What'd I say? I said it 7 times. Nope. Yeah, 17. All right, my next game is one of the ones that went up the list. It went up. It went up from 25 to 16. It went up 9 spaces. And why did it go up?
Play. Or is it an expansion this time?
We did. No, it's no expansion. We did play it fairly recently, but it had the same effect. If you watched the previous video of Caverna, when I played Feast for Odin, it reminded me how much I like these games more. Oh. And that is La Havre.
Oh, I guess I should not be surprised about this anyway. You love this game.
I love, love, love. My favorite Uwe Rosenberg game.
Wow.
Because when we played Feast for Odin a while back, and we're like, is this our favorite Rosenberg game?
Yeah, that's true. We had to play
then we played Caverna, and we played this, and like, oh no,
that's your fave.
This is the one. I don't know why. I mean, it's not flashy.
No.
It's not, like super, like, whoa, it's just so smooth.
Yeah, it's really well designed. The theme's cool, and the products you upgrade so that you can build more complicated things. And it's a tight game too, because there's so few turns. You've got to really think ahead.
Yeah. And
have a really good solid backup plan in case someone blocks you, so that you need to make 2 really good plans basically for this.
So this game, you're collecting resources, and basically you convert those resources, like you said, into more valuable resources, and you can ship those off or use them to build buildings. There's buildings that you can build that they basically come out in sequence, like highest number to lowest number, and you have to build certain ones before you get to the other ones, and Some of them come down to an open area to be used. So it's just, I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know why this, but it just every time it just smooth. Feels so fulfilling when you're done. You're like, oh, that was so much fun. It's the planning ahead, thinking, okay, well, do I want to focus in on this? Do I want to do a lot of stuff with iron, or do I want to collect tons and tons of buildings? Do I want to build ships where you can get a lot of points for shipping goods? There's just a lot of different ways to play this game. And every time I go into it, I end up doing something different. Like, oh, maybe I'll do like a cattle thing where I can get lots of cows and do leather and stuff.
That's like true. That. Yeah, you sold a bunch of leather and stuff last time.
Last time I was churning out the leather last time. That's how I got a ton of points.
Well, it's just fun. I mean, you've got, your first level, you've got clay. And the next level up from that, you can do bricks. And the stuff where you do with the clay builds some kind of buildings and stuff. But later in the game, if you've got your bricks, oh my goodness, you can build these buildings that do so much more, and give you so much more for supplies. And same thing with other, wood and all the different materials, because you end up building up to steel with the metal and different things like that. It's logical too. I mean, so.
And you can use other people's buildings. You have to pay them. True. You have to pay them a little bit to use them.
Yeah, but you're also kind of blocking that building.
There's lots of blocking going on. Like if you really want to use a spot and it's blocked, you're just out of luck. But this game, there's always something good you can do on every turn. You can collect a bunch of stuff. You can use buildings. There's it's just like I said. I don't know. It's not flashy. Like I think Feast for Odin just seems flashy to me, right? It's got all those tiles and all that stuff. This one's just so smooth and plays so well. So I think I've spoken enough about Le Havre, the harbor.
Possibly.
Number 16.
Woohoo! Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, that's the one that went up. This one went down, but it only went down 2 places.
Ooh, holding its own.
Let's look at this. No, I won't say anything. But my number 15 is Merchants and Marauders.
Oh, I know what you were going to say now.
Merchants and Marauders.
This is a good game. Oh, I love this game.
So, I used to play back in the way back times. I used to play a game called Pirates. Sid Meier's Pirates. And that was at the time, that was my favorite video game. One day, I was walking through the friendly local game store. And I saw the map that's on the back of this. And it looks just like the Sid Meier's map. And I'm like, what is this game? And so I looked at it like, pirates attacking each other, completing missions. All right, I gotta play this game. And we
had a ball with it.
It is so much fun. It just every time I play this, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So basically, you're pirates in the Caribbean.
You have the map.
No, the movie. You're pirates in the. And you jokes are more like guidelines. And you go around, and you can be a merchant. You can go around collecting goods and moving those goods to where they want them. So you can get victory points by collecting sets of goods and money. You get lots of money by collecting sets and taking them to certain places that where the goods are in need. You can attack merchants. You can attack other players. You can find rumors and prove they're true. You can go on missions. You can upgrade your ship. You can sell your ship and get a better ship.
Get crew. Did you talk about the crew?
That's in the expansion.
Yeah, that's true. That's more expansion.
And there is expansion,
really good
Seas of Glory, which I highly recommend. If you play this and you like it, definitely get the Seas of Glory. But it's just, it's an epic pirate game. If you love pirates and you like epic games, this is one that you want to check out.
Yeah, because you can pick and choose what you want to do. Do you want to go and get a rumor and follow that and try to get rewards from that, or do you just do the merchanting straight up, or like you said, just turn to a life of crime and just everybody that you cross just start
turn to a life of crime? You start with a life of
there's
crime.
That too. See, and it's just amazing all the different things that happen. So, and just the base game itself is really fun. You don't have to go get the expansion, but anybody that's a really big fan of this game, that expansion is amazing. It adds so much more going on. It's going to contribute to adding to the length of the game too, but it's awesome. So
That's going to be a recurring statement in a lot of my top games. I wish I could play this game more often. But,
yes.
But it's a 3+ hour game.
Yes, especially, if we add a third player.
3+ hours. 2-player, you probably can play it in...
We probably have cracked it out.
2.5 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a longer game. But that is my number 15.
Ugh.
Merchants and Marauders.
Such a good game.
All right.
Love that game.
Onward. This is the one that did not change. It was my 14 last year. It's my 14 this year. And this is one of Rebecca's all-time favorites. Not to spoil her list. Orleans.
Oh my gosh. Good thing you have this high on your list. Well played, well played.
My number 14.
Such a good game.
Orleans. This is a pool builder.
Yeah.
I call it bag building, but everyone says, well, you're not really building a bag. So
it's true.
So it's a pool building game that you utilize a bag to build that pool. But anyway, you're basically collecting all these different types of workers, I guess. Types of people. And you put them in your bag and you draw them out and you put them on different spots on the board, a la worker placement, but everyone has their own little board that they utilize, so there's not really blocking of each other for that. And you're going out and collecting more workers. You're moving up on various tracks. You're collecting resources. There's also events that happen throughout the game that you have to prepare for. Basically the event flips. You know what the event is at the start of the turn, but it triggers at the end of the turn, so you have time to prepare for it. Collect buildings that give you more places to put your workers. Just a really fun game. There's ways to cull your workers. Basically, you send them off to do good deeds, and they
do good deeds.
They give you benefits. There's 2.
You're like,
what are you gonna say?
I was just thinking the good deeds sending them off to die.
Yeah,
you never get to use them again. So we were.
They go away and they do their good deed and they never come back. This is kind of point salad-y. You're building up on different tracks, collecting different points. Once you do certain things, when you get to a certain level on a track, you get I want to say it's a citizen tile, and that's a multiplier for some of your in-game points. So the more of those you get, just a really, really solid Euro game. I really enjoy the bag building part of the game where you're you never know what you're going to pull out. Like,
no.
I need I need 2 knights this time, and you get no knights. So you have to. So each turn you have to take
contingency plan.
It's based on what I got, what I pulled out of the bag. What's my best course of action? And there's different things you can do. Move around on the board, collect lots of resources. You can really concentrate on getting up on those tracks and collecting the citizen tiles.
Well, and like the traveling map, I really like that too because you can go and build your little trading posts or whatever and collect all of those things, and you can really rack up some good points doing that too.
Yep.
But you might fall behind on the other stuff, so you got to kind of balance it a little bit.
Yep.
Really fun.
And awesome. If you like Euro games, you get.
And this is a smooth. Yeah, this is another one of those games that plays really smoothly. The turns can go really fast unless you have somebody that really becomes.
Well, a lot of it's simultaneous, right? You're putting your guys on the board.
Yeah, so that saves time too. I like it. Smooth game. And they have a super expensive deluxe edition that is gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous.
It's almost impossible to get. You have to get on the secondhand market at this point, pretty much.
Which is, like I said, super expensive. But, neat game.
Yep. So that's my number 14. 14 last year.
Good choice.
Orleans.
Good choice.
All right, here we go.
That's interesting. I kept the same spot.
Time to get epic.
Oh, we hadn't been epic before? I thought we were pretty epic already.
All right.
Just me.
My number 13. It was my number 10 last year, so it only went down 3 spaces.
Okay. Holding its own.
One of my favorite games, Age of Empires, the Age of Discovery.
This is such a good game. Wow, you really like this game.
Yep. So there's a new version of the game called Empires Age of Discovery, I think is what it's called now. I got my old beat-up, formerly owned by Tom Vassell version of the game. And I love it, love it, love it. So this is a worker placement game with area control. So you have a bunch of crappy workers. You take those workers and you can change them into cool workers that have specializations that help you do certain things. The main goal is to move over to the New World, the colonies, and colonize and send your people over there, and you get area control at those locations. Collect points for doing that. There's buildings that you can build. There is a set collection with resources. You collect resources. You get bonus points for having sets of different kinds of resources. You can start wars in the colony and kill some of the people over there. If you don't like how the area control is going, send some soldiers over there and shoot some people and take control of different areas. I think my favorite...
Sounds like the New World.
My favorite part of the game, though, is, like I said, taking those crappy workers and deciding, okay, do I want to change them?
Like a captain, or
do I want to be a captain, or do I want to do...
priest, or a... What was the other one?
Soldiers.
Soldiers, missionary, colonists, merchant dude. And my favorites are the little chocolate-looking merchant ships. They look like they're made out of chocolate because they're brown. At least in this game they are. And they do great things, like they add bonus points to your set collection resources.
Well, they're wilds, basically.
They're a wild, yeah. And if people aren't paying attention, you can start collecting these and start getting a little army of chocolate boats that just take over, and you can run away with some points with them. I loved it. It was fun.
Yep. Yeah, so
map's beautiful.
Yep. So this is the map. There's where all your worker placement happens over here on this side. Here's the colony. Colonies over here. And here's the different workers. You have your standard colonists, I guess, are the standard ones, and you can get missionaries, like she said, that go over. They convert people in the New World, so it adds to your area control. You have soldiers that can fight people and kill people, and you have merchants that give you. That's how you get bonus tiles and things like that, and captains, which count as multiples when they do certain things. They're more powerful.
What I like best too about the map is that, like this one in particular, is the map, as you can see, was kind of split in half, because you do have like 2 phases of the game when you're going through and doing like your selection, who's going to do what.
Right.
And then you've got your New World, where it's got the map of the actual New World where you're going, and you got your area control and all that stuff going on over there. I just love the fact that it even divvies it up on the board, and they did it in such a nice way, and everything's pretty clear. It's easy to understand. The game looked like it was some kind of heavy war thing at first. I'm like, ooh, Age of Empires, that sounds like a really heavy Civ game. Not even a little bit. It's so easy to pick up.
Yeah, and if you don't do the little raids and wars or whatever they're called over there, it's just straight area control. You're not they're not really fighting each other. So.
Yeah, so you can make it as easy or as difficult. Really, you can kind of adjust.
And it's expensive. You have to pay cash to do the
to fight
the other players. So you have to really make it worth your while if you're going to do it. We really honestly don't fight
not that much, because it's usually not.
To
our benefit to do it.
Yeah, if you're colonizing one area, I just go to a different area.
A lot of times, yeah. The only time I think where it might force you to be more aggressive would be with more players, maybe.
Yeah,
it just depends on how
more players.
I don't know.
You have more, but it's fairly quick. Plays in about 2 hours.
Oh, wasn't it even quicker than that?
For 2 players, it's shorter. It's about an hour and a half.
I was gonna say I wouldn't think we got it done in an hour.
There you go. My number.
So good.
13 was my number 10 last year, so holding strong. Age of Empires.
Wow.
3.
Such a good
The
game.
Age of Discovery.
That's a good one.
Again, you're going to find it as Empire's Age of Discovery now, I believe is what it's called. Alright. I think I'm choking Rebecca up with all this dust.
Yeah. That's all good.
Alright.
I'm still ready to roll. I want to hear these games. I'm curious now.
Alright, my number 12. The last 2 are new games.
That's true.
My number 12.
I have to be.
Is my second favorite. I'm not gonna spoil.
Oh,
Ascendancy!
This game, I forgot. This is new this year.
Yep, we played this. First time we played it was at FallsCon. Was it?
I'm not sure now. Might have been.
I think it was FallsCon.
I think so too. I think so too. Oh, such a fun game. Another Star Trek in a box kind of game.
Yeah, but this was more the kind of. I would say it's less episodic and more kind of the ship combats, right?
Yes, I agree.
It's more the fighting of the different between the ships, and you're going and you're.
It's more generalized than the other.
Yeah, so basically you play the Klingons, the Romulans, and the Federation. It's designed to be 3-player. We played it 2-player. It worked okay. The only issue I could see is that you potentially have a runaway leader situation.
Potentially.
In 2-player.
3-player is awesome.
3-player is awesome.
Gosh.
Every faction is a little different. The Federation wants to go out and be nice and friendly and
explore.
And explore areas, and they get lots of points that way. The Klingons, they want to go out and destroy and conquer and subjugate
And boy,
planets.
can they.
And then Romulans are more kind of in between. They want to do a little bit of both of that, but then they got the stealthy, sneaky stuff going on for them as well. So it's really cool the way the board works. You start out, all you have is your 3 little home planets, and you go out, you build the entire board as you play from there. You have when you go out to explore, you have like warp lanes, and the warp lanes can be different lengths, and you put a system down at the end, and you can, until it connects, you can kind of rotate that's where that system is, and then when you build off of it, you can go somewhere else. So you can eventually you're going to connect up, and then chaos ensues. Then you start fighting each other and taking each other's planets and all kinds of craziness.
But it's great because it's so completely unique every single game because of how you explore and what planets end up showing up, and just so good. Because I mean, it's like it brings back that feeling of the exploring the galaxy for the first time, and you're building it as you go. It's just fantastic. Some
planets are
awesome.
Happy, smiley planets. Some are hazardous, like you fly into one area and your ship blows up because it's hazardous. Taking as the Klingons subjugating, you're fighting. You have to have a certain
you gotta fight
level
people,
to be able to take it over. The Federation does something else where they make them join the Federation, basically.
Yeah, we have some
they don't actually attack them. I forget what it's called.
Prime Directive or something, probably. Who knows?
But yeah, it's like I said, this is an amazing Star Trek game, but it's kind of pulled back, and you're looking more at the big scope, right? The big, basically like I said, the ship combats and taking over planets and things like that. It's less,
cool.
It's less like
about the individual characters, and stuff like that.
Because you don't play different characters and things like this in the game, so it's more, like I said, pulled back. And down here somewhere, where are they?
Probably not within reach.
Behind you. We haven't played them yet, but we also have the Ferengi.
Oh my gosh, that's on the play during the break. Oh, there's more? Oh! How could I forget? The Cardassians!
So, eventually, now with these expansions, you can play a crazy 5-player game of this.
Oh my god, I don't think we have room on the table for that.
Got a new table coming.
Oh!
Room.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space, but it's totally worth it. This is... Oh, I cannot wait. The way they do the individual abilities unique to each race, and they keep it so thematic. They did a really, really good job on this game.
Yeah.
These people liked Star Trek when they built this. It's obvious. So, well played, Gale Force 9.
Alright, there you go. That is my number 12. New to the list, Star Trek Ascendancy.
Man, it rocketed to the top. With good reason, though.
All this dust from the top shelf. All the big games are up on the top shelf, and they have dust on them. Alright, so, we have arrived
at
my favorite Feld.
What?
Number 11. My favorite Feld of all time is...
Oracles of Delphi.
The Oracle of Delphi!
Woot woot.
This game is fun. So, it's somewhat unique in terms of a Feld game. This is a race. So you're racing to complete 12 tasks and get back home to Zeus.
Could call them 12 labors.
Could be the 12 labors.
Sorry.
Since I love the game as a labor of love.
Oh, gosh, we're going to just keep going with this, aren't we? Oh, what did we start?
Woo! So you're racing to complete 12 tasks before everyone else and get back to Zeus. It's a dice rolling game. If you noticed, a lot of my favorite Felds have dice rolling in them. So you roll some dice. You have those dice. Those dice decide you what actions you can do. You can use those dice to do all sorts of actions. You can move your boat. You can pick up things that you need to do. So the tasks you do, you have to set up temples. You have to pick up cubes and deliver them to somewhere else. You have to pick up statues and deliver them to somewhere else. You have to find, in order to build your shrines, you have to go and go around and explore, discover islands. When you discover the island for your shrine, you have to pick your shrine and put it there.
To fight a monster.
You have to fight monsters. And
mythological ones.
And it's a press your luck game when you're fighting. The portion of the game is press your luck when you're fighting the monsters.
Yep.
A monster has a certain, you roll and see what his strength is, and you're trying to beat that number. Actually, it has a strength, basically how strong you are determines how strong basically the monster starts with, I think, 12 strength, and whatever your attack power is reduces that. So let's say you have a 3, it gets it to a 9, so you're rolling a 10-sided die to try to beat that number, but then you can burn chits that are very, very valuable to make that, to reduce the number. So basically you roll and try to beat a 9, then you try to beat an 8, and you try to beat a 7, so you're pressing your luck, but you're wasting your valuable tokens that can be used for various things to do that.
So good.
It's got a modular map that's you can change it up however you're going to do. It's going to be randomized every turn on how that works.
Well, not every turn, every time.
I mean, every game.
That would be insane.
Every turn you have to take the map and fix it.
I would set that game on fire.
That would be pretty.
No. Every turn?
No, I'm saying a game like that where the board changes.
Oh, every turn?
Anyway. Yeah, so every game you set the board differently. You have various gods that you're trying to influence. Once you get a certain amount of influence and with those gods, you get superpower that lets you do something really cool. There's cards that you can draft that give you abilities that no one else has. Just, this game is just, it is awesome. If you like Euro games, this one you have to try Oracle of Delphi. If you like Feld, you have to try Oracle of Delphi. If you like TMG games, you have to try Oracle of Delphi. If you just like board games, you have to try Oracle of Delphi.
Wow, you're getting crazy. What just happened? Yeah, no, that...
And what I find interesting is this is rarely at the top of people's favorite Feld games.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really sure why. Is it because it is different, maybe?
Yeah, it's not a standard Feld. It's very, very unique compared to the other games.
That's true.
There's no points.
Yeah, you don't do points. It's just about completing the tasks first.
It's a complete race. But a lot of his mechanisms are here.
They're there.
Using dice, way to modify the dice to do different things. The dice can be used for multiple different kinds of actions.
Streamlining your turns.
You're trying, and one other thing about the game is that when other people roll their dice, everybody rolls their dice on their turn, you can potentially get a benefit. So a lot of times you're rooting, like, I need you to roll a red, roll a red. So you need a red. You basically can take one of their dice to influence one of the gods to get
that's
the
cool
ability.
too.
So you're kind of interested when everybody's rolling their dice, what's going on.
Yeah. At
the end of each round, there's the punitive Feld. There's 2 punitiveness. You got diseases that you're getting. Injuries.
I was like, there's no disease in this? Injuries.
Injuries you're getting that if you get a certain number of injuries, that bad things happen. You can potentially lose your turn. There is, but we're really saying there's a Titan or something that you have to fight at the end of each complete round.
Yeah.
And based on how strong you are, you may take injuries or not take injuries, right? There's just so much going on in this game. I just enjoy it so much.
The theme is cute. The theme is cute with it too. I mean, it's just
basically doing offerings to the gods and trying to make them happy, building shrines and erecting statues and defeating mythological monsters, and it's just, what can I say? It's an awesome game.
Yeah.
My favorite Feld, the Oracle of Delphi. And that's it for this round. You know what the next round is?
The final countdown.
My top 10 is coming up. All right.
Woohoo! We're down to the 10.
All right. Let's look. Oh.
Being attacked.
Being attacked by
Dust
Bunny. All right.
So
let's tease it.
Okay.
2 new games made my top 10.
Wow! So they must be super good. Okay.
2 new ones.
Wow. Okay.
3 games that went down.
That's not surprising.
But they all of them stayed in my top 10 from last year. All the ones the ones that went down were
still in the top 10.
Were still in the top 10, obviously.
Ooh.
1 game went up. 1 game went up. How many games does that leave? At least 4 games. 4 stayed exactly the same.
Are you serious?
4 the same. Oh. 3 went down. 2 new games and 1 that went up.
Wow, I gotta think on this before we go through these then.
Oh man, I'm looking at these games. you need to tune in for the next one. These are some epic, amazing. Never turn down an opportunity to play one of these games. Love them, love them, love them. I'm so excited.
I am too, actually. This is going to be interesting.
Let's do this. Next time's the top 10.